Welcome back, and once again, we are talking about the debate that I got on Twitter with the abortion debate, and how there were a few liberals out there who were trying to make the statement, make the point that the Bible, that God supports abortion by using this obscure reference in the book of Numbers, chapter 5. And we went through first this guy's use of the logical fallacy of appeal to authority, then how he specifically cherry-picked a translation of the Bible that supported only his position to the exclusion of multiple translations of the Bible, which do not support his position. And now we're going to talk about, instead of translations, we're going to talk about the actual Hebrew. Now, he made the point, or he's trying to make the point, that because the Bible, the NIV, and also the CEB versions, of the Bible, mention the word miscarry. Okay. So what I did was I went, as I frequently do when I'm researching for a sermon, I went to the original language. And I looked up the Hebrew word for miscarry. The Hebrew word for miscarry is shakol. Okay, we're going to take a look at it here real quick. Hebrew word for miscarry is shakol. All right. Now, we can see in the verse count how many times this word is mentioned and in what books of the Bible. It's mentioned 4 times in Genesis, once in Exodus, once in Leviticus, once in Deuteronomy, once in Samuel, twice in Kings, once in Job, Isaiah once, 2 times Jeremiah, once in Lamentations, 5 times in Ezekiel. That actually makes sense. Ezekiel's a big book. Twice in Hosea, once in Malachi. Never, not once, is it mentioned in the book of Numbers. Okay, and so not only does the word for miscarry, the Hebrew word for miscarry, not appear in Numbers chapter 5, it doesn't appear in the book of Numbers anywhere, ever, at all. So I do not reject the NIV version of that particular passage out of hand. I reject the NIV translation of that section because it's flat wrong. The word miscarry does not appear anywhere in that section. We can even go to the Hebrew text here. Here we go. Hebrew text. All right. All right, here is the Hebrew text that they're referencing, verse 27. Right there. Now, for those of you who do not speak or read Hebrew, it's going to be kind of difficult here. Right there. That's the word shekol. It consists of those 3 characters right there. We go to 27. And let's see. There is only one 3-character word. It's that one right there. All right. Go back to shekol. And it's not that one. Okay. So the word shekol does not appear in verse 27, chapter 5 of Numbers. And we'll look at the English translation over here. And when he hath made her drink the water, then it shall come to pass, if she be defiled, and have acted unfaithfully against her husband, that the water that causeth the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall fall away, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. Again, no mention whatsoever of a pregnancy, of miscarriage, of any of that. Does not exist in that area. Now, the next verse, it does mention that if she has not defiled herself, then she shall be able to conceive seed. So, what we can deduce from that, because it gives this right here, she shall be able to conceive, we can deduce that chapter 27, when it says her belly shall swell, it means that she will no longer be able to conceive. That is different than a miscarriage. Those are two totally different things. The word here for belly is the Hebrew word benet. Now, the Hebrew word benet can mean either the whole body, generally. It can mean like edema, general edema in the body. It can mean the belly, itself. And it can also mean womb. Here, I think it is better translated as womb. But it could just mean that the belly, is distended. But either way, I think that the general concept here is that she will not be able to be, if she lied before God to the priest and swore before God and she lied, then the ultimate curse is that she will not be able to conceive children anymore. So that's what we're looking at. That's how we do, or at least that's how I do my research when I go for, when I'm working up a sermon. That's basically how it should be done, quite frankly. But anyway, so we can see that, and another thing that I did, because I do use the NIV Bible. I have an NIV Cultural Studies Bible. I opened up the NIV Cultural Studies Bible to that section. The NIV Cultural Studies Bible has commentary on the various areas, on the various verses and stuff like that, on most of them anyway. So I went to see in the NIV Cultural Studies Bible what it said on this particular passage. And it didn't say anything. As a matter of fact, there were quite a few. I think the last one that it made, the last verse that it made comment on was verse 16. And it didn't make any real comment on the rest of it. And it's the NIV's silence on that. Now, if they had some explanation as to why they used the word miscarry in that section, which I was really hoping they would, but they didn't. So their lack of commentary on why they used that word, and the lack of that word, not only in that passage, but in the entire book, tells me that they got it wrong. And that their lack of commentary on that verse was also reason for me to reject the NIV translation of that particular passage. So that's the Hebrew portion right there. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this. If you like what you heard, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all later.